Hiya folks, JD here, and today we've got this. This is the Eachine E59. It's a rather sweet little folding drone. Now, I quite like this. Obviously, as I said in the unboxing, we saw this as part of the JJRC JJ1 and JJ2 pack. Now Eachine have branded this with their name, and I'm really quite looking forward to taking up. I liked this when it was JJRC's. I thought it flew really well. I'm hoping this is going to fly just as well. Now there's no altitude hold, there's no camera, it is just quite simply an indoor-outdoor flying quadcopter. Now I'm going to attempt to fly her out here today. We are on the cusp of Storm Dylan and I don't want to be out here too long if I can at all help it. So what I'm going to do is take this up, fly her around. If she flies well, perfect. But if this wind picks up, then I'm going to call it a day and we're going to fly this indoors instead. So let's give it a try outside and let's see exactly how she goes. What I'm hoping from this, I'm hoping to get a solid flyer, a solid quick flyer like we saw in the past. Now for the transmitter, it's exactly the same as JJRC's, just with Eachine branding. Now I quite like this. It was simple, but also at the same time I felt as if the quadcopter could handle very well from this. Every single movement I made, the quadcopter made and mimicked the movements. So it absolutely exactly. So I know this is a good guy. But whether any changes have been made to either of them, I don't know. So let's take them up and let's have a quick little look and see. Alright, so I've been through the pre-flight checks, just ensured that all these screws are done up, that these push pin propellers are all on as well, and that everything is as it should be. I'm just going to set her up, so I'm just going to turn her on, and turn on the transmitter as well. Single 1 up, 1 down motion to bind, all LEDs solid, all LEDs solid. That did take a little bit of time, that wasn't as quick as I was expecting. Okay, interesting. Well, with that, let's take her up. Straight up, no ifs, no buts, no coconuts. Look at that, really quite nice. No altitude hold mode, but it doesn't matter because this guy, oh, those LEDs still nice and bright. Little bit of feathering, just getting used to this little guy for a second. Oh, still does some absolutely fantastic 3D flips. Okay, speed mode 2. As I say, the breeze that we've got here today isn't much, but this is only a little quadcopter, so I'm guessing that breeze is going to be amplified quite a lot. Oh, I do like this. I like complicated quadcopters. I love GPS quadcopters. I love overly complicated quads, but do you know what? There's something really beautiful about flying a basic quadcopter, and it doesn't get more basic than this. It really doesn't. Cutting a bit of a wind there, so I'm just going to change it to speed mode 3. This is going to ruin the battery life, but it doesn't matter, because this guy is just so much fun. Look at him go. Oh, still really good. He's finding that breeze a little bit difficult, but I have known nano quadcopters before not to be able to cut through it. But in speed mode 3, this guy is going for it. He's cutting through that breeze. And even though it's a little bit of a strain for him, bless him, he is only small, but he's powerful. Look at him go. Well, I say powerful, a lot of you are probably going to say, no, he's not, he's just got brush motors. Yes, he has got brush motors, but he's able to cut through this little 4 or 5 mile an hour breeze that we've got here today, and that's great. I've seen a load of quadcopters before, even larger ones, that can't do that, even though it takes him a while. Bless him. He's still flies very good though, he does. I mean, there's nothing else that could really go wrong. As long as the motors work and as long as this guy takes to the air and 3D flips, then there's nothing much else you could expect from this guy. It is as basic as it comes. Okay, let's go. Let's try and cut this breeze a little bit. Let's do a few zigzags and get through that breeze a little bit quicker. Oh, this guy is good. Ooh, bit of a strong breeze there, so what I'm going to do is take her back out a little bit, turn her around and cut through the breeze diagonally instead of just straight forward. Come on, little fella, fight that breeze. And he's doing it. Look at him. Well, I can't say go because he's taking his time, but he's going through it. Hello, you little man. And now I love altitude hold as well, but not having altitude hold just lets you build up on that skill set of flying quadcopters. Because yes, altitude hold is great, yes it is brilliant, and it does solve a multitude of little errors, but not having it as well is also quite nice, because then you can actually fly a quadcopter and you've got to think about every single movement. You haven't got that altitude hold to fall back on. Come on, little man. Oh, bless you. You really are struggling through this little wind. Back to speed mode 1. Changing again to 3. Oh, kissed the curb and you fell upside down. That was my fault. I thought I had more room than I did. Now, there we go, look. Got to check whenever this guy lands, because of these push-out folding propeller arms. See this one? It's out of kilter slightly. Click, there we go, he's back in. If I'd have just taken up without checking that, he would have gone into some sort of really crazy position and flown off, probably into a bush somewhere. Always good to check these propeller arms and just make sure that these are set correctly. Oh, even when you bank with this guy, it's just so much fun. I'm going to test this guy indoors as well. I've had an okay from the wife ever since doing the helicopter, and we are good to keep on doing some indoor tests, which I'm very glad about, to be honest. I really did enjoy flying indoors, because as a load of people will know from the UK weather is not conducive to flying any sort of vehicles, and it does change rapidly. So having another place that we can test is perfect. But more to come on that later. Oh, look at him go. Right, lights are flashing. As he's such a small little guy, I'm going to bring him home. Come on, fella. And land. Oh, upside down. There we are. Alright then, folks. Let's get a verdict. Right then, folks. So, thoughts on the Eachine E59. Well, what can I say? He's just a very basic quadcopter. There's no altitude hold, there's no camera, there's no GPS. Of course there's no GPS. There is nothing of the sort. It's just a flying machine. That's all she is. Indoor, outdoor flying machine. I can't help but like it. I really can't help but like it. I'll tell you why. It's great having all these quadcopters with all this technology built into it, but sometimes I feel as if it takes away a little bit from the flying, and it's nice to just go back to bare basics where you're in charge. There's nothing else, there's no computer, there's no GPS modules, there's nothing at all, there's just you, and that's it. If you crash, it's down to you. You know, you can't say, oh, the GPS module failed, or any sort of excuses. You can just, it's just down to you, that's it. And that's what I get from this guy. He's just solid fun. Solid fun at an extremely cheap price. Now, of course, he's not going to be fit for everybody. But what I will, and the reason I say that is because maybe if some of you want altitude hold, you're not going to get it. If you want a camera, you're not going to get it. But still, he is remarkably good fun. And yeah, next stop, I think, indoor test, see how he does indoors. But yeah, so far the outdoor. Thanks. So far, the outdoor I haven't had a problem with at all. I mean, he's just, other than me not judging where the floor is and his decline a little bit too quick and then he hit the deck. But other than that, brilliant. I mean, one thing I would say, if you were to pin me down and say, right, well, give me a negative bit. See these screws here? There's 4 of them, each on one of the propeller arms. What I would make sure is that all of these screws are done up nice and tight. Not too tight, but nice and tight. When I first got this guy out, he was, one of them was a little bit loose, and I thought if there's a little bit of wind resistance on that, it's just going to buckle. So I tightened it up. And I'm glad I did, because then I didn't have to worry about it the whole flight. And yeah, I like it. But that would be the only negative point. Now, what about the transmitter, though? Well, it's as basic as you come. Speed increase, 3D flips. 3D flips work perfectly. Speed increase, 3 speed modes. Sometimes you don't get 3 speed modes with larger copters. No altitude hold, as I said. Trim buttons, didn't have to use them. So all in all, very, very happy with this guy. Yeah, as I say, we're going to try him indoors, see how he fares indoors. And yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be exactly the same result. So there we are, folks. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please subscribe and give us a like as well if you have liked this. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.